What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? Friday morning, fight day. Gotta love these weekday fight cards. We're coming off some momentum we built a couple nights ago in the Philippines. If you followed my long parlay this week, it's a 7-legger. The first two came through. We have 3 more fights on that long parlay that are happening today in Canada. We know that that card is headlined by Mary Spencer and Mikaela. We're going to talk all about that today. I'm going to go over my final picks for that card. We're going to also talk a little bit about underdogs, prop bets. I gave the boys in the Discord my 2-leg method of victory parlay. So that's correlated with this Canada card. I know I've spoken probably not enough about the card in the UK, and there's another card in the States, but I wanted to get through Canada first. Canada, like I said, will wrap up today, and then we got all day Saturday, all day Sunday to talk about the fights happening in about 48 to 72 hours. But I want to focus on Canada. There's some money on the table. There's some interesting matchups. It's just going to come down to, it's going to be one of those cards where right now on the odds, favorites are kind of big favorites, so it's going to really be up to us to figure out and get it right, the method of victory in regards to how much risk you want to take versus how much reward you want to get. So we're going to talk about that as well. We talked about the weigh-ins yesterday. I just posted on my Instagram some of the footage from the UK. One of my underdogs of the week I posted about. It's the Lyndon Arthur Bradley Ray fight. We could talk about that. There seems to be some division in the Discord about which way to go. I always like division. I think with division, as long as it is a healthy discourse and an educated conversation, with division, there's opportunity to grow and to learn. So I love the pushback. Wherever you guys are tuning in, as you're tapping in, make sure you like this video. At about the 30-minute mark, I'm going to give the boys in the Discord, the Johnny Says Boxing VIP, an option to come on the channel and come on live with me. So if anybody is in the Discord, you're tuning in, check the group out. I just put the link at about the 30-minute mark. Click that link and come on board. Come on the live. And so, hold on. We got some breaking news. What's up, boys? Reports are saying Tank was arrested. Mate, you guys know. And before I comment on this, let's see if it's true. I'm gonna type it in before I comment on this more. This fucking guy. What's your source, Mark? Where are you seeing this? Here we go. I found it. No, this is from July, it says. Now this is popping up in news feeds, but look. Well, the photo, it said I think this is from the July. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on that. Let's go back to the odds before we get there. I posted in the Discord. Because I want to talk about that. Let me go to the Discord then. Give me 1 second, guys. They're talking about Tank was arrested for assault. The only reason I think this is interesting is because maybe 2 years ago I did a video on YouTube that so many people got offended by. They got the video taken down. I did a video on YouTube about all it was Tank Davis's arrest record. I did a video, Tank Davis's arrest history. And people got so salty. This was 2 years ago too, by the way. So his public image was, I guess, a bit different. So this is the Discord. You posted it. Mar the Prince, accused of assault. Yeah, I don't really fuck with X, so I don't even know if this link will work. WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis accused of assaulting his ex-partner October 27th, violently attacking, choking. I mean, this is what the dude has. I don't doubt this. You know what I'm saying? I don't doubt this. Look at his history. Look at his record. For some reason, there's certain people who walk this earth who feel. And look, toxic relationships. This is a loaded sort of thing. Is he a scumbag for touching women? 100%. Do I condone putting hands on girls? Hell to the no. I don't give a shit the situation. I don't care how toxic the situation is. The way I was raised, the way I'm wired, you never raise a finger or a hand to a woman, especially ever. There's ever. That's just that those are just my ethics. Um there's a lot of toxic relationships out there. One of the best pieces of advice is I could give to the young bucks is just be aware, wear a condom. Wrap up. Don't procreate with somebody that you're not vibing with. You don't have to pull out, dude. Even if you're not wrapping up, pull out. Why are you guys busting up in these random strangers too? I mean, for real. I got some friends out there with no discipline, dude. I mean, fortunately, I don't really hang out with people that are that wild. But pull out, wear a rubber. Why are you procreating with people that you shouldn't be procreating with? If you're not ready to have kids, don't have kids. The reason why I say all that is because toxicity. I mean, it's insane, and it works both ways too. The domestic violence rates in America are insane, especially female on female. Do you guys know about this? This is an insane stat. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's an insane thing. I didn't plan on talking about this. I guess we have to talk about it, but I'm not big on Tank. I think he's a coward. I've always said that. I mean, there's video footage of. Did you guys remember the basketball game footage? He was at a basketball game. It was like a charity basketball game, and the girl he's dating. He's pulling her out of the arena by her hair. He's a coward, if you ask me, man. I've never been on Tank. Let's get to business though. It's tough to move on. The domestic violence case. Look it up, mate. Female on female are insane, and the boys. Look, DJ. This is some real rap. One of my best friend Eddie. I taught the older you guys are gonna get, the I'm not telling you anything new. My really tight group of brothers were like six 20 years ago. I wish it was still six. It's down to like three. Things happen. I'm 43. I'm still fortunate enough to say that I still have two brothers. Like we've been friends since we were 12, thick and thin. Eddie and Dre, we always talk about. The one dude we wouldn't mess with in high school was Gay Patrick, boy. Gay Patrick and Gay Tommy. Gay Patrick would throw hands on that ass. When we were 15, Gay Patrick was already out. He was like 6'3" athlete, out, lived in the hood, and he would beat girls up. Him and Teresa. I remember we were in 10th grade English class. Everyone called him Gay Pat, by the way. It wasn't a behind the back nickname. In high school, Gay Patrick was either Gay Pat or Gay Patrick. He had a skin. He had purple contact lenses. He was like 6'2", 6'3". He would throw hands against broads. He would beat up dudes, and he was the toughest dude I grew up around. Was Gay Pat, and I remember we're in 10th grade English class. Mr. Heinzer, Liberty High School, 1998, and Teresa and Pat lived in the same they lived up in the Colonial Arms. They weren't really projects, but they were like they were apartments. You know, they were like I lived in a nice the nice town part by 14 years old. So like they were like as they were kind of sketchy, but they weren't where I came from, they weren't sketchy at all. So they had brought some beef that had started in their apartment complex to 10th grade English class. I'll never forget this. I hear Teresa got up screaming, and Teresa would always, if Teresa had beef, she would let everybody had to know. The teachers, there was no quiet beef. Like you know, there's been stories. If I grow, if you know, I've been in fights with my classmates where we would keep it on the hush. You know, the teacher would loom, teacher would leave the room. You go back by the pencil sharpener, throw hands, get off a little bit, and that was that. Sometimes you'd be sitting back at the desk with a little cut, little blood, but no one. Teresa would stand up. I know you know it, and get crazy. So she does this. Gay Pat grabs his English book and goes bink and hits her over the head with it. Anyway, same with Fruity Men. My point is, DJ, some of the toughest dudes I knew growing up were gay dudes. Gay Pat and Gay Tommy. I knew Tank was a joke when he Robert Floss. Robert Floss, my guy. Robert and I were going back and forth on Instagram about his boxing career, but Robert got a very interesting boxing career. I was like, we need to tell that story, Robert. Your story is amazing. I I seen it. But let's get to the. Should we get to the fights, or do you want to still talk about Tank? Where are we going from here, boys? This shit took a detour I wasn't prepared for. We're already 12 minutes in. Do we bring up the odds? Do we talk about our parlays, or do you want me to dig deeper on this Tank Davis stuff? Let me know. Um, you know, if we're gonna move on, you guys know where I stand. Um, if it was just Tank as a fighter in the ring, and you know we were able to sort of have amnesia and a memory loss about what his life has been up until this, and you know of him as a boxer, I'm a fan of him as a boxer. You know, I like his counter boxing, I like his patience, I like his punch selection, I like his athleticism. I love somersault Tank off the ropes when he knocks people out. But knowing his whole career, watching you know how it's unfolded, watching videos of him beating up women, screw that guy. That dude is a coward and a punk, and I don't got time for him. So, boxing fan, let's hit that button and chat, guys. As you tap it in, let's hit a thumb up. We're gonna move. We're gonna move forward. We got some fights. Let's talk business. We're classy out here, right? We gotta brush the shoulders off. Here we go. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. So we have fights starting soon. I'm going to be going live for these fights if I can find out how to use a VPN, just to let everyone know. My plan today is to be doing a live stream for the Canada card, even though we do not have we don't get Roku, we don't get Tubi, we don't get top rank channels. Like it's hard for us to watch top rank cards. Chris Guerrero, William Herrera. I told you boys all week. I don't have action here. I didn't take this fight. It came in late. By the time I put my long parlay in, Guerrero versus Herrera wasn't offered. I don't like double dipping. You know what I'm saying? The parlay was already in. We've already hit two of the six. So I'm not saying Herrera's going to beat Guerrero. I don't have action on that fight. Sometimes the best bets we make are the ones we don't make. I do have Mehmet Olnal here. He's fighting Ralph Vilkins. We've covered this all week. I like Unal. He's a former kickboxer, undefeated Turkish striker, knockout artist. He's aggressive. He's fighting Vilkins 8-1. Are the odds a bit wide? Yeah. Do I have Mehmet on the money line? Yeah. If you were getting sexy, I would take Unal to win by knockout here. This is how this fight is trending, guys. These fights are put together. Yeah, look, Unal by knockout's a $127. So that's where all the money's coming in at, and that just kind of shows you how that fight should trend. Moving forward, I'm just going to cover these in chronological order, and then I'll give the mic up to you boys. This is a fight I do have action on. Now, Birslanov, he doesn't appear. I don't think he appears on my long parlay, but Birslanov is on my. I have a method of victory with him on it. So I have Beersanov is fighting Lipnitz. We know Lipnitz is a former world champion. I have I played the knockout here. So I put this on a little cheeky method of victory parlay, and I'm riding with it. So that's what I like in that fight. I'll get to your questions in a second. Here's another fight, a contentious fight. Some of the boys don't know which way to go. I broke this fight down. I put a little video up on why. Matthew versus Shaquille Finn. I like Matthews here. Um, some people were expecting the upset. Some people were sprinkling on Finn. Could it happen? Yep. Am I taking that? Nope. I like Matthews. I like the prospect. I think he's legit. I like his skill set. I like his bag. I like what he does. I like his style. And I like this matchup, to be honest with you. I like the step up, and it's a step up for Wilkins. But if he is who his handlers think he is, and if he is who I think he should handle Finn. I will take a question here. Angel Angel Calixto, I'll get back to you with the Tank Paul stuff. We already talked about it though. Adu, what makes you certain? I'm not certain about anything. There's no certainty when I about doing this, Adu. So Adu says, what makes you certain Lipnitz gets not nothing? That there's nothing certain about anything. Do I see him losing by knockout? Yeah. So I wouldn't say the word certain. Why do I see this happening? Because I think Beerslanov is one of the best fighters in the world at 140 pounds. I think Beerslanov is not a household name, but he should be. This dude is a nightmare. He's a problem. Sergey's 36 now. He knows how to lose now. He's a former world champion. You got to ask yourself, a guy who's 36. You know, the matchup itself for Lipnitz to put his hand up to fight Beerslanov, it does kind of answer my question half-heartedly. My question is, you got to ask a 36-year-old former champion, what is he fighting for? Does Sergey still think he could become a world champion? And if he doesn't, why is he fighting? So I guarantee this is his litmus test. You see what I did there? Not Lipinets test, but a litmus test on will he keep fighting? He's like, F it. I'll put my hand up to fight Beerslanov. Let me show you Beerslanov real quick. Okay, this is Sergey. 18-4. He's been stopped twice. He is 36 years old now. Adam Azim, Michelle Rivera, Jaron Ennis. He's been in there with some good guys, right? Like I said, he's been, he beat Lamont Peterson, but that was a long time ago. Lost to Mikey Garcia. He's been in there with some good guys, legit guy. There was a time when everybody was questioning Jaron Ennis. I broke down the Ennis. This would have been 2 years ago. We rewatched the Ennis versus Sergey fight. And, Sergey 10 years ago is a different guy. This is who he's fighting. Beerslanov, 19-0, 16 knockouts. Home cooking. He reps Canada, but he's a Russian. The Wolf. You sending the Wolf? Shit, that's all you had to say? Now, I'm not going to harp too much on if you guys don't know about Beerslanov, if you've never seen him fight. The diehards will definitely know who he is. They've definitely seen him fight. Has he had the stiffest opponents up until this stage of his career? Maybe regionally, you know what I'm saying? Look, you could put whatever credence you put to these rankings. Say what you will about BoxRec's algorithm. This isn't the end all and be all. This shouldn't be the Bible of how you categorize who's good and who's not. But it should tell you something. That when you look at these rankings at 140, you have Teo, Subriel, Hitchens, Adam Azim, Dalton Smith, Barboza. Look who's right after Barboza. Beerslanov. So for a guy that most people don't know about, the average guy, this is every time people mention Arthur Beersenov, I talk about him. I'm like, dude, you better put an asterisk by this guy's name. This dude is a real problem. Look who he's ranked above. Playa, GAR, Lindolfo Delgado, Tito, Jermaine Ortiz, Duarte. Like, all I'm saying is, if you've never seen him fight before, definitely tune in. So am I certain he knocks out Lipnitz? No. Hell to the nah. Am I playing it? 100%. Am I playing that buck 43? 100%. So I put that in earlier in the week. I like his game. We're gonna see. I mean, is Lipnitz quality enough to hang around? Yeah. We're gonna see if he wants to hang around though. That's the thing. That's what I'm questioning with Sergey is, does he want to hang around? You gonna hang around the whole fight? We'll see. We will see. Lipnitz found on Pro Box. Lipnitz is a G, man. No one's questioning that, Kyle. Boxing fan, before I place any bets, I'd like to hear our Discord members debate the best decision to make an opinion. Yeah, let somebody come on. Discordians. Discordians! Mount up. It was a clear dark night. A clear yellow in the streets trying to pursue. As I hit the east side of the LBC on a mission try to find Mr. Warren G. Let's see some. You send me swinging. Oh, yes, send me swinging. That's not what I wanted. That looks like 2 inches to me, doesn't it? I think on paper it says 2 inches. What's going to be interesting here is it's going to come down to that speed and that athleticism. I've had a couple of the boys send me the reasoning why they're taking Spencer. And I told them, I was like, if you're taking Spencer, you better not be taking Spencer just because of the odds. You better send me a game plan. I want to see a path to victory. One of my buddies gave me a path to victory. He was like, look, Spencer is the bigger girl. She's going to have more power. She's going to be more physical, right? She was like, she's going to lure Mikaela Mayer into fighting. Spencer's going to fight Mayer's ego. And before you know it, Spencer's going to be in the phone booth, or Mayer's going to be in the phone booth the entire time. And Spencer's going to break her down. That's what my buddy was saying. And I was like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now you're talking about a path to victory. Do I agree with it? No, but at least you said you see a path to victory for Spencer that wasn't just highlighted upon the fact that she's the A side or highlighted upon the fact that you like the odds. You know what I'm saying? So for you Spencer fans, there's something for you. Angel Calixto, good money to be made this week. Your picks are spot on this week. Parlay a Mayor decision. Let's go, Angel. And like I said, if you're just tapping in at 24 minutes in, because we had the Filipino card, shout out to Manny Pacquiao. Good production too, man. The card lasted, it seemed like, for 92 hours. It was a 12-hour card. It was the 50th anniversary for Thriller in Manila. You know, there were a couple good fights. There was an early fight that was really good. It was, I think, an 8-rounder between two guys at 135 pounds. They were just clubbing each other. And then obviously the fight that left everybody talking was the co-main. Not the Jerusalem versus the Kusei fight, but the co-main, which we won money on as well. But then we got through that. We're up. And then we got this card happening in a few hours. Fingers crossed we'll be up. Then I'll be focusing more the rest of the weekend, guys, on that UK card, the Buatsi fight, Lyndon Arthur versus Bradley Ray. We could get into that. Lyndon Arthur is my dog of the week. We're barking. They both came in under the weight limits. You see this. He opens the live Discord about 30 minutes in. Yeah, guys, if you got, we're 30 minutes in. We're getting there. Anybody want to come on? Let's go. Henry Williams. I would take Melissa Mikaela Mayer, but we have strict rule: never bet on chick fights. Hey, Henry Williams, you got to have your rules. I have my own rules with women. I never pick stoppages, and I never go heavy on any women unless her name is Gabby. Gabby's the one I always win money on. This could be a repeat of Tiara Brown versus Sky. Ooh, you remember that down here in Australia? Sky lost a decision. PJ is PJ the Puppet Show today, but sometimes he moonlights as Carlos, the Muscle Man. Shaquille Finn might be. Here we go. Let's talk about it. I think I think you guys know. I've driven my point home on this fight. I'm going with Wilkins here. I've taped it. I did a short breakdown. If you guys are, JSB insiders, you would have gotten. So I do members only videos, guys. We not only have the private Discord, which is a betting platform. We're creating like the Italian mafia version of running numbers. We got numbers running for the NBA, the NHL. We got MMA, boxing, basketball. So the boys in the Discord and the JSB insiders here who get members only videos, I gave you the Matthew versus Finn. We broke it down. It's a step up. Like I said, I think Wilkins Matthew is that dude though. He's a fun prospect. I like watch for his left hook. He uses all of his tools. 20 years old. His handlers think he's next in line. He's gonna want to put on a performance. Is it worth the sprinkle of those odds? 100%. Shaquille Finn's a legit pro. Seasoned, grizzled, tough. Been in there with some big names. This is Matthew's step up. And during young professional prospects' careers, you need matchups like this. You need matchups like this to test yourself. Some guys, some fighters never get tested until late, and then they find out on the world stage. This is one of those matchups where I agree with on the step up. The worst is when you got a fighter like Tank Davis. I want to see Tank. Tank at 135 has never fought a champion. I want to see Tank's 31 years old. People get salty when I say this. I call Tank a 31-year-old prospect, not clowning him. Only because he has the belt, he has the WBA belt at 135, but he's never fought a 135-pound champion. Like, are we gonna step up at all, or like, what are we doing here? That's why That's why I tip my hat off to Sam Noakes. Tip my hat off to Abdullah Mason. Tip my hat, even Floyd Schofield. Fighting Tevin Farmer, man. Even though Floyd, pulled out again of another fight injury, but anybody have Wilkins' Instagram? All right, I found it. You see that? So this is Wilkins Matthew. 20 years old, uses his angles. Look, defensively minded, offensively minded. I like his left hook. I like his feet. He's up for it. The kid is a fun prospect. Watch your tape on him. Shaquille might be an underdog pick. He might be, but when I tape, so here's the thing, Henry. If I had weighing in all week, Finn versus Matthew as maybe Finn being my underdog, or Lyndon Arthur versus Bradley Ray, Lyndon being my underdog. When I watch the tape on Lyndon and Shaquille, I think Lyndon has a much better chance of winning than Shaquille does. That's my point. I think that Lyndon Arthur should be the favorite. I really think the odds makers have it wrong. We'll see if I'm right or wrong, but I got to be honest with you. I'm still quite shocked that Bradley Ray is the favorite in that fight. All things considered, this is Bradley Ray's step up. You know, even though Lyndon lost the decision in his last fight, I mean, Bradley Ray didn't necessarily blow Shaquan Pitters out the water. Bradley Ray, his last fight, he fought a guy who was 0-32, I think, which sounds like I just made that up. This is the fight. This is the boys got it wrong. I'm I've been saying this all week. I think the boys got it wrong here. To think Arthur's the underdog, me. There's nothing in Bradley Ray's tape that I feel that there's nobody that he's fought. Watching his last fight against Pitters, I don't see it. I think these odds should be flip flopped. Even if they were flip flopped and Arthur was at 115, I would still take Arthur. Yeah, let's boxing fan. Let's get these views up. Let's get these thumb the likes up. What are we saying here? 30 plus watchers in the house. Let's get those likes to 30. I'll donate. Free memberships, unsuspected viewer. We're at 12 now. Let's go. Yeah, I don't understand why it's something that I still don't get with some of the boys here. If you guys are watching, just hit the I don't understand why you don't just hit the thumbs up, but I don't like asking. You know, I feel like a little suspect dude on the streets. You got $1 I can borrow? Y'all, you gonna eat that cornbread? You know, that's how I feel. I see you got that cornbread. You gonna eat that cornbread? That's how I feel when I ask you guys to like a video. But hopefully you guys can get in the habit of just doing that on your own. I heard Lyndon Arthur interview doesn't seem like he takes boxing seriously, to be honest. Hold that thought. Rafa in 2 weeks, by the way. One of my favorite fighters. I mean, he looks like a guy to me who takes boxing. Look at the shape he's in. What I mean, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, mate. You saw a couple interviews. I'm looking at him right now. My man looks like he takes boxing very seriously. This dude looks like he's in exceptional shape. Look at that, mate. Yeah, I'm living and dying with it. I like Lyndon here, guys. I like his body punching. I like his pedigree. I like his experience. Um, I going into the sixth round of his last fight, I had him up 5-1. Hopefully, in my head, in his head, he's pissed off about that because I feel like he let that Anthony Yard fight slip away. I'm glad he did because I picked Yard to beat him and we won money on it. That was the third time they fought. I felt like Lyndon let it slip away. Could Bradley Ray? I hate triangle theories, but you see Bradley Ray hanging with Dimitri Bivol? Do you see Bradley Ray hanging with Anthony Yard? I mean, does Bradley Ray beat Liam Cameron? I don't know. There's not a lot about. And to push back, he looks like he takes it serious to me, bro. Ezra Aranaka's odds. Billy Denise went from 4. Yeah, they had. Did you guys see the? Did you guys see the dust up? Ezra hit Billy with an egg. Did you guys see that? I thought I posted on the Grizzle, but maybe not. My girlfriend's like, Johnny, what's the Grizzle? I heard you say the Grizzle the other day. What's the Grizzle? I go Instagram. We call it where I come from. We call Instagram the Grizzle. No, that's Buatsi. thought I shared it.
African King. You've been standing in the mirror all week with that one. You've been standing in the mirror with them daft shades on all week, singing that to yourself. Thank you, jingle, jingle bells and all that. Absolute spud. Silly Billy with the little Willie. For you, Silly Billy with the little Willie. That stops around 7. Every blow to the head, every blow to the body. I'm gonna send you to heaven. African King. You've been standing in the mirror all week with that one. You've been standing in the mirror with them daft shades on all week, singing that to yourself. Thank you, jingle, jingle bells and all that. Absolute spud. Silly Billy with the little Willie. For you, Silly Billy with the little Willie. That stops around.
I don't know if it's because I live in Australia and there's a big English community here, and so two of my best friends are from England. I love the shit talk between Brits. Like, no, hopefully you guys don't get offended. You guys, if you're on this stream, you ain't getting offended by anything. But when I moved to Australia, I thought as an American, and this is like the ignorant American in me. You know, I moved to Australia in 2013. I was like, America, we're the best in everything, which I still think we kind of, like I'm proud to be an American. I'm very proud. I love where I come from. I love being from Youngstown, Ohio. My roots, a grimy ass steel town. I love Youngstown, Ohio, boy. I love Long Beach, California, where I went to college. Grad school there. Um, I thought Americans were good at shit talking. I thought like everybody knew that Americans, the Brits will call it banter. But I come down to Sydney, and two of my closest friends became guys from London, and then I realized that a lot of people from London, they make fun of Americans because Americans get too emotional. You can't banter. There's like shit talking somebody without having to fight them is called banter. Americans are known. You start getting shit talk where we come shit. Say one more word, homie. Say one more word. We about to score. So that's called getting emotional. Brits could banter, and if you're not used to it, from where I'm from, you'll hear two dudes talking shit. You're like, are they about to scrap? Damn, I would have fired on this dude already. I can't believe he didn't swing on him. And it's not, and they just banter. I love that. I love that about the British, a specific part of the British culture. I don't, maybe it's just London. I don't know. But the banter side. So hearing those boys, Ezra, and going back and forth, talking shit, man, I'm here for it. Do you think Wilkins wins by decision? Um, see, what's up, Bath boy? What's up, Bath boy? Boy? See, man, I got him on my parlay. I got him on my long parlay. I'm not gonna play the outcome on that fight. If you're putting me on the spot, I'm not gonna play the outcome on that fight. I got him $1.22 on a long parlay. Got the favorite, right? Some of the boys are sprinkling on the dog. You put me on the spot. Look at the odds right here. It's kind of 50-50 either way, right? Shaquille's tough as fuck. Shaquille's tough as nails, man. Shaquille Finn is tough as nails. So just out of respect and respect to the game and adoration for a vet, I would take Matthew on points. I'd be really, really, really impressed if Matthew could stop him. That's all I'm gonna say. Am I playing either one of those? No, but that's where I stand on that. From Kenya, let me add some of my homies. Yeah, Elf from Kenya. That's my guy. Appreciate you guys. Wherever you're tuning in, let's like the video. We got memberships going. We get these likes up. We're gonna gift a Johnny Says VIP membership to a random live streamer. So let's get those up. Ezra is tough for sure. Countdown has begun. 9 to go. Love these countdowns, boxing fam. My guy. Okay, so Elago says just make 2 separate parlays, one going the distance and one not on the Wilkins fight. Yeah, but then okay. Let's see what that pays. Bro, I mean, this isn't a bad shot, Elagos. So this is the Wilkins Finn fight. This is totally disregarding picking a winner, and this gives you freedom. Will the fight go the distance? Yes. Will the fight go the distance? No. I kind of see it going the distance. And $1.68 are way better odds than Matthew if you're a Matthew fan. But then again, if Matthew, keeps leveling up, because that's the thing with him when you watch his tape. He's at that age where and he has such a bag that if as he keeps leveling up, man, I mean, he could get the stoppage. It's not a bad shout though. Wilkins for the win, but mostly go the yeah, Alphonse for sure. So you and Ellie Ghost are seeing eye to eye. I think that's a good shout actually. I think it's an educated pick, if you want to call it that. Rambler, I see you talking. I'm gonna give you some love, Rambler. I see you. Usually by this stage of the chat, Rambler has to. I'm gonna give you some love. I've seen Tommy Fury jogging; his arms are down by his knees. How about what do you guys make of these memes going around? Tommy Fury and Tom Aspinall, or my bad, Big John Fury and Tom Aspinall being father and son. One of my guys, do you guys know Cav Kick Sports on Instagram? These are Brits. I'm bringing one of the boys on the show. I've been friends with these guys for a while. They do really good, a lot of great MMA stuff. But they posted this meme. Maybe they took it down. Anyway, maybe it was somebody else's page. I saw there was a meme of Tom Aspinall and Big John Fury being father and son. They look exactly alike. Anyway, who's hit me up? Guys, we're about 45 minutes in. Buatsi's going to win convincingly. Let's bring that up. Let's see what those odds. Have you guys real quick? Have you guys seen any odds shifting over the last? Because that's always interesting. It's always a good talking point to highlight a specific. Like last week, there was a fight. It seems like every week you see odds shift. One of these fights, money will be coming in, money will be coming out. Any of you guys pick up on that this week? Do we have any? It's usually like a sharp. One of the boys in the Discord is kind of a sharp. Like he looks for these things and then he'll load up on like sort of even money or underdogs and then win a lot of money. And a lot of that has to do with paying attention to the line. Here we go. Is there great value on this fight, boys? Like, are those odds? This is once again, this is going to be one of these fights where you're going to have to, if you're a Buatsi guy, which I feel Buatsi's going to handle Zach Parker, you're going to have to roll the dice on a method of victory and outcome. Do you see him stopping him? A lot of the boys do. When I see a fight like this, a domestic fight like this, Buatsi Parker, and I see the odds this kind of wide with the knockout being, not getting plus money, I could see this going the distance. Buatsi by knockout move down. Buatsi wants to go back to being a contender. All right, Adu, I'm going to feature this because Adu's answering my question, which is great. So let's check it out. Adu, how far has it moved? In which way? I know this fight got added to my book late, so it's not a fight I've really paid a lot of attention to. Aren't both brothers fighting, or just Lanier? Just Lanier. Why did I think both brothers were fighting? This is interesting. Okay. So was the money coming in on Thompson? People are talking about. I mean, you guys have seen the marketing for Lanier Perro and his brother. People are talking about these boys. These are the next Klitschko's. I'm like, damn. Do you guys is that a? How do you guys feel about that? Are you guys playing this fight? This is so this is Perro. This is Adu answering my question. I said every week there's usually a fight where odds start shifting one way or another. Doesn't happen all the time, but when you see that, when you could find a fight where odds start shifting because money's coming in or coming out, it kind of like usually is a fight that you can make money on. How you guys playing this? Because I don't have this on. This fight got added late, so I don't have this on a parlay. Adu, where's the move? Where's your money at on this fight? Yeah, the event starts in 2 hours. Well, let's see, Miguel. Miguel Fernandez. I'm just gonna pull up my betting app because the app will tell us when. Now, granted, where are you coming from, Miguel? I'm in Australia, so our times are gonna be different. Chris Guerrero fights in 5 hours. Okay, so Chris Guerrero fights Williams Herrera in 5 hours. Unal fights Vilcon in 6 hours. Birslanov fights Lipnitz in 6.5 hours. Matthew fights Finn in 7. Yeah, and Spencer and Mayer don't fight for another 8 hours. So that does add up, though, Miguel. If the undercard, if the prelims start in 2 hours, that does add up. Um, unless it's that Filipino card that happened on Tuesday, which went for like 17 hours. That was ridiculous. Pero is minus 455 now on Bet365. Let's go check it out. Well, it's because yeah, they're doing the two-way betting. Sports bet, the draw kills you. Elagos, I took Pero. He looks pretty good, and Thompson hasn't fought since late 2023. So are you comfortable with that money line pick, or are you getting fancy with an outcome, Elagos? Does Pero win on points, or does Pero stop him? Tenny Oladeji, you got Arthur on points or knockout. So Tenny, to answer you, every time I pick an underdog of the week, because we're getting plus money, I don't get fancy. I put all my attention on the underdog just to get the dub. So however it happens, I'm gonna be happy. I got him at 270 2 days ago. I think he's down to 255. We just pulled that up. So Lyndon Arthur at 255 to beat Bradley Ray is enough for me. I mean, could he go out there and put on an amazing performance? If he's gonna get the stoppage, he's gonna have to do what he did against in his last fight, but not fade, and he's gonna have to invest in the body. Lyndon Arthur, the when he's at his best, he's not fighting emotionally. He's using his size and he's body punching. Loso over 8.5 on Wilkins. Finn. I like that bet. I think the over is the way to go. Finn, like we talked about, you could go if you're just tapping into this right now. Finn is a legit vet. He's tough. He's grizzled. He should be able to move around. He should be able to hang. Wilkins, though, like I said, I'm high on Wilkins. Matthew Wilkins is a legit prospect. It's 23:40 in Kenya. Most of my buddies just leaving. It's all good, Alphonse, baby. I appreciate you bringing the Kenyans to our chat. Everyone's welcome, man. I appreciate you here. Does Arthur? Yes. Yeah, so I have, so this is one of the bets I have on my method of victory. On one of my method of victory prop bets, I have a two-leg. One of those method of victory is Birslanov to stop Lipnitz, so I like it. It's only at about $1.43, so I parlayed it with another fight. Arthur already sparred with Bradley and the boy. The dogs are live. I think the dogs are barking. Let's get the dogs barking. Zarafa, Tim Zoo, Nick Flaz, Tiger Johnson. I'm just going over the Discord real quick. The boys in the Discord. Let me. Yeah, somebody was reporting that somebody shared a link that Tank Davis got arrested. And I don't see it. Nobody's reporting on it. Maybe that was a fake link, guys. We'll see. We'll let that play out. Brandon St. Julian, Arthur Bierslanov over 6.5 or under. Let's see what those odds are saying. Because I got Bierslanov at $1.43 by stoppage. So I just want to see the odds over 6.5 what it's paying. Will the fight go the distance? No. Yeah, they're not giving me, at least on Sportsbet, any options for over-unders. They're just giving me method of victory. Will the fight go the distance? Adult. So it's interesting. Will the fight go the distance? No. Whoever's going to take that bet, it's why not like Beersonoff by knockout $1.43. Those odds are better than the $1.32. And if you don't think Beersonov's going to win, you think Libnitz is going to knock Beersonov out, take the $10.50. So this is kind of a sucker option here. Johnny Aussie Pugilist, Linden has come in from 275 to 250 on Sportsbook. Yeah, I got him at 275 is what I was talking about. I put my Lyndon Arthur dog bet in 4 days ago when I saw that. I thought, I talked about it all week. Guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I do live streams every single day. If you want to see my edited breakdown and prediction videos, my stats don't lie videos, go to my playlist called Fight Predictions. The last one up there is Mikaela Mayer versus Mary Spencer. I'm going to be uploading today Bradley Ray versus Lyndon Arthur. You already know my prediction. I like Lyndon Arthur here. I got Lyndon Arthur as my underdog of the week. I put him in 4 days ago at 275. Money's coming in on him now. He's at 250. I feel the odds makers got that wrong right off jump. There's nothing in Bradley Ray. And you know what? Is it a bad read? It could be. Maybe it's a bad read on me. Maybe the Bradley Ray that I saw against Shakon Pitters was struggling with Pitters' size. Pitters is a, domestic level experienced vet, but I mean, he was a big underdog in that fight. And going to the cards, I was kind of sweating it a bit. I got to be honest with you. Because I picked Bradley Ray to beat Pitters. Leibniz 36 years old. Yeah, 137 years old. Look at the fight. Look who Bradley Ray has fought. This time last year, he fought Ryan LeBourne. Look who he's fought. Dude, BoxRec is tripping. I hate BoxRec, by the way. How does that even happen? Well, you saw the stats. We gotta like the algorithm. Best community out here. Facts. I appreciate you guys, man. Let's get those likes up. We're giving out a free Johnny Says Boxing Insider membership. The membership will be good for a month. You get access to a Discord. The Discord's popping. Best community. We're growing. We just hit 250 in there. We started it 12 weeks ago. Where I was talking about though, I wish anybody want to come on the live right now to sell me on Bradley Ray? Anybody want to sell me on Bradley Ray? And I'm not doing, and you guys know me by now. It's not to argue or debate. I want somebody to sell me on Bradley Ray. Young Money, what's up, playa? Yeah, Chris Guerrero, Andres fight. Guerrero's a big favorite in this fight. And I talked about it, Young Money, when I started the chat, is that this fight wasn't being offered to me earlier in the week, so I didn't play it. And Guerrero's a huge favorite. So, all things considered, if you're going to make money on the Guerrero versus Herrera fight, you're going to have to get pretty creative on the method of victory. I'll come on and tell you why not to bet that fight. Come on, big fella. You're always welcomed. Tell me why. I know is Shakan Pitters a nobody. Shakan Pitters was a 2-1 dog. He's not world class. So I'm gonna leave this. So Nick, come on, Breaking Bad. I put the link in the Discord. Let's go. All right, guys, you're about to see Breaking Bad. What up, playa?
What up? What up? I'm walking the pup at the dog park, so I was listening to the live. So I was like, you know what? I'll call in while I'm out here. May as well, right?
Yeah. What kind of jersey you repping? What's that jersey?
Right here, this is that young Richardson 23 troublemaker for Golden State, dog. And then flex for him, of course. What's up, boys?
They ain't ready for that, boy. They ain't ready for all that.
What's up, boys? All right, so we did the film study for Liam Cameron in the Discord, so that was a lot of fun. And one of the fights that we watched was actually the Lyndon Arthur fight. And shout out the boy D's. I think he's Banky Crazy on YouTube. Want to give him a shout out because he pointed out something about Lyndon Arthur that I think is the only reason that I wouldn't touch Lyndon Arthur as a dog this week. And I think Lyndon Arthur is a very live dog. Very, very live. Bradley Ray is spotting nobody. He did have good cardio and pace in the later rounds against Pitters that we have to give him credit for in that case. But the one thing about Lyndon Arthur, which Lyndon Arthur shows up? The same guy that fights on the back rope so negatively, throws out 10 punches, 12 punches around, allows you to work him to the ropes and beat up on his body? Or is it going to be the Lyndon Arthur that's going to try to take the reins and the ropes and actually even win a fight? Because you saw against Liam Cameron gave that fight away against Lyndon Arthur, just being literally, that was one of the most negative fights when it came to the last 6 through 10 rounds. No one tried to take that fight by the scruff of the beard in this case. I do think who's been in there with the better competition world level, it's not even close to Lyndon Arthur. But damn, an aging Lyndon Arthur as compared to someone that definitely has the age advantage with Bradley Ray. I think he will, oddly enough, have the athleticism advantage too as well against Lyndon Arthur. I just don't know if we can trust Lyndon Arthur, man. So I don't want to, and you said this yesterday on your live, you don't want to talk anyone out of their bet. Yeah. I simply am just saying these are factors to consider. That's all I wanted to put out there.
Oh, yeah. No, all good, mate. And you're spot on. And I think the boys know My goal is never to talk anyone into a bet or out of a bet. You guys just get to see on a daily basis my neuropathy or the way I'm wired, right? So he went Bradley Ray, and we won money on him, but he went life and death with Shakan. Before he fought, before Shakan fought Bradley, he fought a guy who was 4-23, 8-115. That was Pitters. So somebody was like, "Is Pitters a nobody?" And I go, "Eh." They went life and death, mate. Okay, but you bring up a good point about Lyndon, right? What Lyndon Arthur are we gonna get? This isn't a lock. This isn't on my long parlay. This isn't invest the house. This is strictly my dog of the week. You know what I said? You know what I'm saying? Like every week, I go over the fight schedule. I put 4 or 5 potential dogs down. I do my deductive reasoning. This is the fight I came on, right? I was like, all right, I got him at 270. He's 250 now. Um, I had him up 4-1 in his last fight, mate, against Anthony Yard. Does he fight uninspired at times? 100%. When he's cooking, though, I mean, this is the same guy who stayed around against Bivol. This is the same guy that gets dropped. And I think, what was the fight? It was the Suarez. He gets dropped early and then stops Suarez. When he's at his best, mate, he's going to be working the body. He's going to be body punching. I think it's worth a sprinkle. I'm not saying he's a perfect fighter by no means, and there is risk. That's why he's an underdog. I think the odds got it. I think the odds makers got it wrong here, mate.
And I can see all of your deductive reasoning and why you would take him. I just always wanted to give that other kind of devil's advocate side of it on why.
That's what we wanted. Yeah, that's what we wanted.
There is one fight that the boys in the NBA chat know about the boy Guru. I be chopping up with my boy Guru. Boys
Who's
in the
Guru?
NBA chat about. He's just he's a dude who's given us some killer NBA plays, man. Really sharp cat.
Are we talking NBA now? Or are we gonna stick? Because I could go to the NBA Discord.
Oh no! I'm just bringing him up for the boys that are listening to kind of give him not only his credit and his love, but to let the boys to let him know that he has a little bit of backing to his name here. So the reason I bring this up is because there is a fight tonight that he brought up to me that a few other people on Twitter also are kind of on, and then I actually went and did a grip of tape on this fight. This is the one fight that I actually did locked in on, which is surprising. Mehmet Unal versus Ralph Vilkins. Okay, So you have Mehmet Unal. At first, I was thinking like he's Turkish, power like a leaf near Tehran, just a power puncher. And then I'm sitting there and watching. I'm like, who does this guy remind me of? He reminds me of Christian Mabili, a lower volume, lesser cardio Christian Mabili. But I think he has more thump than Christian Mabili. He likes to push you against the ropes. He gets square to you, bangs out the body, bangs out the drum, loves to throw those overhand rights. Come to find out after all of this that he trains in the same gym as Christian Mabili. So all of this starts to make sense. Then you have Ralph Vilkins. Went the distance with Jacob Bank. Went the distance with Anthony Yard after getting dropped in the first round, which in that fight, quite frankly, Vilkins took off a few rounds off of Anthony Yard, especially later. Vilkins loves to play the odds and evens games, going first, going third, going second, going fourth, loves to pull you into traps and try to throw the rear hand. There's a clip I'm going to post in the Discord specifically by Unal that I saw in one of his fights that is something you see over and over and over again with his fights. The way he drops his hand, pulls his chin down, and then tries to re-enter just to throw you back on the ropes. These are all things that I think can lead to maybe not Vilkins winning, but this fight to go the distance is plus 350. That is one of those odds that in a 10-round fight against Unal, who has gone to decision before, Vilkins, who's never been finished before, and then you have someone like Unal whose feet slow after the third or fourth round. I love that fight not to go the distance. Plus 350. Shout out my boy Guru for bringing this fight to my attention, which made me jump on the tape and start cracking it instantly. I really like this fight in terms of not only a value prop, but to go the distance at plus 350 is absolutely fucking asinine, mate. Absolutely asinine.
Here's a little bit of facts about Mehmet Unal, though, on why these odds are the way they are, and when you're watching his tape, why he looks like the way he does with his style. Do you know who Georgia Petrosyan is? Anybody? The doctor, one of the greatest kickboxers of all time. Georgia Petrosyan, they nicknamed the doctor, recently retired, super aggressive. if you know any, the boys out here know kickboxing, Muay Thai. Think about like that flat foot front style. It is kickboxing, right? Mehmet Unal is a former kickboxing champion, right? He
Yes,
gets into
sir.
box. He gets into boxing. I think in his, recently, right? So his record, don't be fooled by his record, but it's that style. Both
Well,
shoulders. He's
he
giving
did
you.
also really quickly. He did have a lot of amateur fights. He even fought Julio De La Cruz. As people know, Julio Cesar de la Cruz, one of the greatest amateur boxers at the higher weight classes, not the like heavyweight classes, but middleweight classes there is.
Yeah.
He fought him twice actually.
The thing about that style, and that's a good call on the amateur pedigree, is that he gives both shoulders. He does kind of a Muay Thai tail in the boxing ring. The reason why that's significant though in this matchup with Vilkins is that he's gonna it's part of his bait. It's part of the trap that he sets. He's kind of daring every opponent to come into that wheelhouse to punch with him. That's what he wants you to do. That's why will the fight go the distance is so high, because somebody's getting knocked out. I think the move is I like Mehmet by knockout. I got him at it's only $1.27. There's not a lot of value, so I didn't throw him on a method of victory parlay. I didn't play. I got this fight early on a long parlay 5 days ago when Unal was $1.14. Put him on a long parlay, but the odds on Unal either way on knockout, not enough value for me to play it, and I don't think Vilkins does much here. And I think the fight ends by stoppage. But the value though on your end, if it goes the distance, boy, what is it? 10 rounds?
It's
Yeah,
only 10 rounds. I mean, my betting style. I don't play any of that. I won't
yeah,
touch anything that's a minus 150 and under. That's how
yeah,
you
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah,
burned. That's how you punch your, not like you, but in general, people. That's how you
yeah.
punch your
No,
TV at night. But
for sure.
that's just kind of like my thoughts on it. So I'm always
Yep.
looking for value. PJ calls me a dog chaser. And Aligos, what up, my boy? As you know, really busy right now with school, work, dog dad. So I love boxing and everything, but when it comes to tape and breakdowns, I can't let my grades fall aside. I also can't let my work fall aside for that. So just to let you know, Aligos, I'm still up and kicking. School ramps down over the next 2 weeks, and then my page will be back to ramping up. So just to give a
All
little
right, brother. Yeah,
today.
school first. Nick, while I got you here, I'm gonna give you like 3 minutes, put you on the spot. I'm gonna say the fights out loud, the MMA fights, the UFC fights, and
Yeah.
you pick one, okay? And then I'll give you the space for one. So we got Alan Carr versus Carnelosi, Phil Rowe versus Coe, Argeline versus Ruiz, Vieira versus Dumont, Johnson versus Dumas. How the hell is Cedric Dumas still in the UFC anyway? Timmy Kwamba's fighting versus Lee, Elikana versus Christian, Charles Racky, Chuck Buffalo versus Frunza, Dolgarian versus Devell, Jeremiah Wells versus Themba, Acosta versus Delia, and might as well just do Steve Garcia and Onama. We might as well just do that fight. That's the one. Tell me
There's
who you.
there's two
Yep,
people I love. I really also think Kawamba's a live dog. If he's a dog, I didn't see the odds here, but I think
I'm a fan of
stylistic.
Timmy.
I think stylistically, gas tank wise, anti wrestling, good hips. I'll take Kawamba and that all day. The first dog you mentioned that I loved, Philip Rowe. Great gas tank, great cardio. He's a jujitsu bro. I love my grapplers too as well. Even though he does nothing in terms of technical stand up that great, high chin, shinny guard, very easily penetratable guard too as well. I think he's going to go later on the gas bag in himself. And I think he gets a round 2, round 3 finish. I actually already have a small half unit bet on Philip Rowe round 3 finish at plus 900. So I really like Philip Rowe to get it done by finish round 3 plus 900. That's not a submission nor a TKO. That's simply just the round. But I really like Philip Rowe in that case. And then, we
Okay.
can talk about
Yep.
Onama, Steve Garcia, because I love that fight. Anyone that
Same.
likes fighting, it doesn't matter if it's MMA, kickboxing, boxing. It doesn't matter if you like watching two drunk old dudes fight in the parking lot. You're going to love this fight. You're going to love
Yep.
this fight, man. Like, so you have Steve Garcia. We've talked about him on your live stream a few weeks ago, actually, is like he doesn't get the credit and love he deserves. Goes in there, forward marauder, has pretty good boxing. If you watch him hit a heavy bag, it doesn't look good. But then when he actually boxes in the ring, he's decently defensively sound. He rolls a little bit and he fires back with crispness. And he's really good at catching and shooting in an MMA sense. But then you
Long
have David
arms.
Onama, dude. Both of these guys have freakishly actually long arms. This is going to be
Yeah.
the battle of the gang, because Steve Garcia has a weird, like, almost Men in Black cricket kind of torso. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Hmm.
Like, his
No,
body style
very,
almost
very
looks like the
weird
crickets from
body.
Men in Black.
Very weird body. Very
Very
long.
strange.
It's crazy.
And he
Yeah.
cracks too.
Yeah. And he's a dog.
The way he cracks too. He gets torque.
Yeah.
Then you have David Onama, an athletic freak, can do it all, scrambling, striking, tough as hell, has gone to absolute wars, death and wars. That Romero kid, that Mason Jones war.
Mason
Even his
Jones.
win against Giga Chikadze was absolutely incredible. The minute Giga Chikadze's feet started slowing down, they were like instinct. All in all here, I think David Garcia is going to have a furious and fast 7.5 minutes. I think after that, the athleticism, the pace, and I think the better fight IQ fighter of David Onama is going to take over here. I think he's eventually going to get this fight to the ground, maybe after 5 minutes of hell, 7 minutes of hell, but he's tough enough to go through it. He's young enough to go through it. I think he's going to kind of catch some sort of outside single leg to a trip kind of takedown, use that athleticism, stay on top, drain Steve Garcia, and then eventually get a finish in rounds 3, 4, or 5. I like David Onama here. And I really like David Onama to eventually get a finish in rounds 3, 4, or 5. I think he's going to have to go through hell for it first, but I like David Onama to get it done. I think he uses the groundwork to get it done at some point. Not necessarily sure if that's a ground and pound TKO or a submission, but I think he gets it done on the ground somewhere. So,
Yeah, that's a good take. And to before I let you go, Tenny, I want Tenny Oladaji says, is Breaking Bad saying he's going the distance for the Unal fight? You want to just put a ribbon on that one for me, and then we'll get out of here?
yes, sir. I'll post my ticket. It's a paper ticket, y'all. I swear to God, it's real. I put my money where my mouth was. So I'll go post that in the Discord right now for you boys. To show
Tenny's
you guys
in the Discord. Tenny's
yes,
in
sir.
the Discord.
Yeah, he's my guy. He's my guy. So yeah. So with that being said, then in this case here, yeah, I'll actually post my ticket. I like Unal to go to distance. I don't want to say I'm confident about it because it's hard to be confident in a 3-1 underdog. But I think if Vilkins can get past the first 3 rounds, I think there's a good shot at him pushing and pulling to the 10th round.
All right, mate. Get your study up, baby. You got to post your report card too, brother.
Yeah, man. You know how it goes, man. After these next few weeks here, once we get cracking, then we're back to really full-time content dropping and things of that nature. But, you know.
What are you studying?
Right now I'm going to school here for simple communications, but I'm trying to have
Nice.
an emphasis on special education. So
Beautiful, man.
Overall, I've always been kind of someone that's been really passionate about learning, passionate about teaching just in general here for you. So, you know,
Nice.
I went to school when I was like 19 for a little bit of time, took a
Yeah.
grip of time off, and then getting back into the flow of it over the last year. So it's been
Yeah.
really nice, really interesting, especially with all the younger cats. So you know how that
Yeah.
goes.
Oh yeah. I've similar. All right, man. I appreciate your time. Appreciate your support. You're
I
doing
appreciate you
great
having
work.
me on. Later, boys.
Yep. Be good, kid. Be good.
Later, brother.
Yep. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap this up. We got a gifted membership, boxing fan, attaboy. So, guys, whoever the way YouTube works is we gift the membership to a random subscriber. The subscriber now has access to our Discord. This membership is good for 30 days. Okay, so have it. You get a 30-day gifted membership. Thank you, boxing fan. Thank you to the chat. If you have any questions, we don't know who this membership goes to, by the way. YouTube just picks. And if you have any questions, just message me. We are already approaching. We're already over an hour and 13 minutes. I got a client downstairs shortly. I'm gonna take one more question. Somebody asked me one more question, and then if there's no more questions, I'm gonna wrap it up. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So, Young Money, are you gonna watch the fights? Yes. So, one of my full transparency here. I'm very passionate about this, guys. I would love to just do this full time. I work for myself, so I guess you would call me an entrepreneur. I run my own fitness business, online coaching, and I run my own gym downstairs. I converted my garage, so I have one-on-one invite-only clients. I write, I'm a published author, and I do this. This is my passion, if you didn't know that. I'm constantly behind the scenes working with guys like Boxing Fan, working with a couple other guys how to grow everything, right? Expansion is the key. I put a lot of energy and emphasis into this, a lot of time and energy. And one of the things that we came up with just today was, Johnny, you got to start doing live stream fights. So I'm going to do that today. I have to figure out how to work a VPN because in Australia, we're not getting options for the Top Rank Tubi, Top Rank Roku channel. So once I figure out how to do the VPN, I'm going to stream it today. And you guys could, something to look forward to moving forward. When there's fights, I'm going to be doing live streams on them. And it's a great question. Shout out to Boxing Fan.